Hey everybody, Jason here from Kickstarted, the feature film documentary that's coming out later this year and talks about the crowdfunding revolution and people following their dreams. And today's another episode of Funded Friday. And we are very lucky to have Christian Tremblay, who is a co-creator with his brother of the iconic 90s cartoon Swat-Kats, which I grew up watching and enjoying. And Christian has brought it back, or is it working to bring it back to the world with his brother by launching a Kickstarter campaign. So Christian, why don't you just go ahead and say hello and tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing on Kickstarter.
Hey guys, so thanks for having us, Jason. So the plan was Kickstarter is basically to have the fans. It's called, first of all, it's called Swat-Kats Revolution, not for nothing. Revolution means that, the power is in the people now, and I wanted to have Swat-Kats having the people get their say. It's not about the studios, it's not about any, pre-established, set of structure. We control those rights, the TV rights and feature film rights, and the fan have asked us, through the years, and a platform like Kickstarter is absolutely amazing because it enables us to connect directly with the fans and say, listen, guys, we plan to do this. We would raise X amount of money, and for the pledges, there will be cool rewards. But the goal is, to bring back the series. Getting, obviously doing a television series is a big endeavor. It's a big investment, but there's steps to get there and bringing new developments, starting to new writings, new visuals, new animations, getting everything it needs in place, so we can really bring the partners in place and on board. And a platform like Kickstarter is mind-blowing. I mean, we're talking, just before we start this interview, I'm talking right now with just a little phone, and this is the kind of revolutions we are now. And then engaging the fans to be part of that, fantastic. So we're blessed to be in an age right now where we can do those kind of things, which was impossible to do. You had to sit down with a banker, to get money. You had to sit down, with studios to get money. Now we're going directly to you, and the fans respond. So it's magic.
Very cool. Well, let me ask you this then. So you guys are doing a bit of a unique approach to the crowdfunding campaign. And I've seen this a lot because I know animation is a particularly expensive type of production. And so you're starting with the $50,000 goal so that you guys can create assets to go and sell the show. But you've also sort of mapped out what it looks like to see the show fully brought back by the fans, like a whole short season, if you guys are able to go well beyond that $50,000 goal. Walk me through, like, what was the thinking around that? Why did you approach it as, like, we just want, we'll start at 50, and if there's enough support, we'll go ahead and do it on our own, just with the funds we get from Kickstarter?
Of really how we put shows together. We've produced many shows with the studios, but no matter the process, it's basically the same. It starts with writings, so we need to bring new writing on board. So we have to create a new television series Bible. We need to create new scripts, and then we need to create a whole new sets of visual. Swat-Kats was broadcast 22 years ago, but actually was first created about 26 years ago. So we're in 2015. The visuals changed, the style changed, the pace changed, into making television series. The style, I'm talking for just style-wise. So it goes in process. You start writing new materials, you start developing new materials. That is the first setup of the $50,000. After that, the next benchmark is really to get animations. Now we need to show what's the style of animation. We're going to use a specific style of animation for the new series, so we need to show what it is. So every step of the way is a step, that normally we would take to get a project off the ground. It needs to have very strong writings, very strong concept, if it's an original concept. In the case of Swat-Kats, it's kind of a classic, animated property, but people, sometimes they care, sometimes they don't care. I'm talking about, financiers, studios, distributors, broadcasters. So you need to know what you believe in and show it. basically is just that. So those steps have been orchestrated very precisely. So what do we need to achieve, to get the financing in place? Because it's to do a 13, 22 minutes episodes or 26, 20, it's a big investment. It needs, different parties in place. So the goal of the Kickstarter is really to get the steps that we need to have in our hands in order to make it happen. And on top of that, it's cool because for the fans, and it's cool for ourselves, but it's cool also for the fans to read new stories. And we have really great ideas for the new stories and how we're going to bring it over there. So as the is that we don't do it just by ourselves. We're engaging the fans. Now they're going to see, everybody who pledge, you're going to see the stuff, very exclusively. We're going to set up, a structure where they're going to, get to read the first draft, of a Bible, get comments. So they're going to see the entire process of making this comeback a reality. And then I think it's cool, because it's not just, again, us in a closed, unit format doing it in-house. We're doing it with the fans.
Very cool. Well, let me ask you this then. So you came into creating cartoons in an era where crowdfunding obviously wasn't really an option. So you did things traditionally, which would have, like as you mentioned, you go into financiers, you have to sell the show to a studio. You guys worked famously with Hanna-Barbera. What was your first exposure to crowdfunding? And when was the moment that you decided that it was the right option for you guys in terms of bringing back Swat-Kats?
Yeah, it's a good question. First of all, we're traditional educated artists, meaning that we're classically trained, on the pure sense of the word. So we're not technology guy at all, but I'm obsessed with technology. I got all that is gears and all the stuff. I'm fascinated, again, that young guys with ideas, just a few machines, can make things that sparks revolution, sparks, beliefs, and ideas. That's what I'm fascinated about technology. How the first time around, listen, I mean, it's all every night before going to bed, I read technology things. So how I came upon the crowdfunding was one of those reads, you're aware of what's going on and things like that. How did we came out that it fits for Swat-Kats? We had, I think 2 years ago, the idea of doing the Kickstarter. We were looking into it. We came very close. I opened up folders in our computers, started to get ideas in there. But I don't think we were quite ready. What really, tipped it is that we were working with two fans, and they wanted to do something with Swat-Kats. Without getting much into details, I said, listen, I'm going to put you in contact, with Warner Brothers, and you'll be looking into it. So they did the approach, they did everything they could and everything, and I saw some emails, but there was one particular emails at the end when they got a response, one of the last response, and they were basically saying, well, X, Y, and Z, but on Facebook there's X amount of Swat-Kats fans, but we don't want to go forward. But at the particular moment when I saw it, I said, holy crap, there is all that amount of fans. I said, so my brother, let's go. We're gonna now's the time. We're gonna go. We're gonna reach those fans, and sometimes it needs something to spark it. That was the moment we sparked. We said, okay, now we're gonna do it. So it was a couple of months ago, about 4 months ago. We started putting everything together, and then we put the plans, we put what we wanted to do, and we just went and we did it. We just went and do it.
Very cool.
Well, the response has been amazing so far. It's beyond what we believe, and who knows where it's going to go.
Well, you guys have come out to a great start. You're already at $40,000 against your $50,000 goal, and you have quite a bit of time left for people watching this video later on. The campaign ends on August 22nd, and there's some cool rewards, especially if you're a Swat-Kats fan. So I encourage people to go and check it out. And I'm certain you guys will reach your goal in the very near future. And I hope that you guys can move on to some of those great stretch goals. Let me ask you this then. What, this is your first campaign. What has been the best part of it, and what has been the most difficult part of launching a crowdfunding campaign?
Okay. I don't think there was any difficult parts. It was very streamlined, quite efficiently. First of all, the platform we use, in our case, Kickstarter, it's brilliant. It's seamlessly, easy to do for anybody who wants to put something out there on those platforms. It's fantastic. It's brilliant, user friendly. I mean, you don't have to be a tech guy, at all. So the platform they've built to do it is incredible. That's the first thing. In our case, the goal was very clear. We had Swat-Kats. We knew there was fan out there. So we were reaching out to them. So to answer your question, there was not really a difficult part of it. But I'll tell you what the difficult part would be. But so for us was, we reached the fans. We need to come up. I think that it was not even challenging, but if there was a challenge, was to come up with a list of rewards that we felt were going to be exciting for the fan. We had an initial plan. We had an initial plan for the rewards process, but we found out we couldn't do it. So we came to an alternative plan, which I think was fine. For us, it was important that. But the idea of the rewards was to open up our archives, our personal archives of original art that we did, that we own, and we say, okay, let's find a way to get that in the hands. Obviously, it's very limited as far as originals, so we had to put some price up. That broke our heart a little bit because we knew, not everybody will be able to afford, some of the things. But we managed to do things where they'll still get, a lot of items with our original signature that we're going to put on it. There's some items, that have never before seen. So we're going to put the art of the making of the series. So there's going to be tons of stuff in there, and the fans have not seen before. So if there was to come up with a list of rewards that was going to appeal the fans, and I think we did it. So it looks like the response, it means that, it was good. We're trying to adjust as well. The cool thing is that we still, yesterday I did an update on 2 items. Some items we can't because it's already, in the process, but some we do. So we're trying to be very acute in listening to the comments. But I think that was the only part. The rest is just, you figure out your math, you make sure that your spreadsheet, okay, we're reaching this, we're going to achieve that. If we have this, we want it also to be careful in the reward process. Again, it's just a balance sheet, that we want to give the fan as much as we can, the coolest thing as possible, but at the same time, there's a goal for it. And the goal is to raise funds to do what needs to be done, to bring back the property, the Swat-Kats. So you just calculate, your things. So, okay, this is great. We can do this. And then, we know we're still going to have, the money that needs, because sometimes it can be expensive, if you put your pie, a big chunk of the pie could be for the rewards. It's great, fantastic. But let's not forget why we're doing this. And the crowdfunding, is to make things happen. And you take a little bit of that and you say, look, this is for you guys. You help us. We're happy to do this. But that was a blast, going through the archives, getting, stuff. And one thing I'm very excited to do, and we're talking about technology, for the $5 pledge, we're going to do a 1-hour session on Periscope. I mean, right there, cutting edge stuff, new things. It's not mainstream. A lot of people don't know, the fans, probably everybody knows, but you know, the main, you know, the common people don't know about it. So we're using it. We're going to show, you know, I'm going to basically pull the box. Hey guys, you know, look at this drawing. You know, the characters in that episodes. Well, this is how he came upon, you know, that was the original first drawing of it. And then, so I'm going to pull a lot of things, you know. I'm excited about this session we're going to do. I'm excited about, you know, oh man, I mean, I'm excited about it all. So I'm diverging a little bit. I want to go back to your question. For us, there was not really hard challenges. It was just manage the time, getting a right reward program, a right balance for where the money is going to go, what we want to achieve, and the fact that we already had a fan base. That was a great part of it. Now, if somebody is doing a crowdfunding on something new, it's a different challenge. There's a challenge of knowing how you're going to get noticed, you know? So if somebody would have, if I would do another crowdfunding on something brand new, the challenge would be, okay, how am I going to be known? How to spread it? Is my stuff good enough that people will? For us, what we did is that we reach out to basically two fans that I've been in touch with on a regular basis. And I say, listen, guys, would you help us? Would you help us, you know, to do X, Y, and Z? And they said, absolutely. So they reach out to the fan base, and from there, it took on by itself. But everything else about it, have a great idea, you know, streamline it, you know, calculate your costs, everything, have a good plan, and man, just go, man. It's like, that's it.
You make some great points, and I like that, because a lot of people go into these campaigns and they don't necessarily think about the fact that rewards are just a tool to get their funding, and sometimes overdo it and put themselves in the hole. And the one thing that I would add that you clearly have a lot of is passion, and I think that's a huge key to success, and you're very passionate about this. It's very clear, and I'm sure that having your fans and backers supporting you guys right now is a great feeling. So first, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And again, I'll post the link here for people to go to the Swat-Kats campaign, which is live on Kickstarter right now. So thank you, Christian.
Listen, you know, on a conclusion word, you know, I would say, well, first of all, thanks. And I really genuinely want to thank the fan. You know, when you reach out inside and say, I'm going to do something. Now, in yourself, you say, okay, we've created this project and we want to bring it back because we loved it when we worked on it. But in this case, you know, we said it was really the fans. We were saying, wow, we're going to do something where the fans going to be able to experience new things, discover new things, and new entertainment, new storylines. And it was totally driven 100% by what, you know, the thinking of the fans. Everything else is like, you know, sometimes you want to do something for yourself, but here was driven by the fans. We acknowledge, you know, every single one of them, and we're going to do our most efforts, you know, to make sure that we step up to where they want to be. And we're thrilled about it. We want to say, you know, thank you to you, thank you to all, and, you know, keep on pledging, you know.
Very cool. All right, well, that's it for today's episode of Funded Friday. Thanks again to Christian and the team behind Swat-Kats. Excited to see where they take that. And if you're interested in more crowdfunding information, you can subscribe to this channel. We're going to do a talk like this every Friday. And if you want to see stories and information of people who are chasing their dreams, please check out our film, Kickstarted, which is coming out later this year. And the website for that is kickstartedmovie.com, where you can see the trailer and sign up to be alerted when we push it live. So thanks a lot. I'll see you guys next week.